Hello friends, Andrew Demeter here today, and before I dive into this towing company chatbot demo, I want to ask you a question, and that is, have you ever been driving down the road before, whether you're on a street, a highway, maybe even a freeway, and then all of a sudden your car starts slowing down, and then unfortunately it comes to a complete stop. Your car has broken down, right? It's heart-wrenching, it's unfortunate for everybody. Nobody likes that feeling. So in this chatbot, I have come up with a solution to that, especially if you are a towing company yourself, or perhaps the marketing agency for a tow truck service. So that being said, let's actually dive in and show you how this all works and how it'll benefit you. So first thing that happens when a user gets into the bot is it greets them based on their first name, gives them some basic information about the towing company in question. Obviously, this placeholder logo is there. All the text and imagery is fully customizable to fit the brand in question. Now, next thing the user sees is this main menu of options that they have. Obviously, as I've alluded to, the meat and potatoes of this bot is the emergency towing button right here, but there are also these other two options, and again, you can add or subtract whatever you want, but I also have here in this template, machinery towing and exotic car towing. So basically, these are just two other very simplistic, because it's just a button that users can click to call the company. It's a very simplistic way of generating leads, but it's another avenue of lead generation nonetheless, so it's like, why not add those options? But again, imagine that your car has just broken down on, say, the highway. You're trying to call a towing company. You don't know what to do. So you simply click here on emergency towing. It'll prompt you to share your current GPS location. This works whether you're on a phone or a computer. Obviously, if you're in the car, you're probably on a phone, but hey, you never know. And then let's say my location is right here. So I'm going to send that over, and then it'll come back asking if that is indeed the location that I want. It'll ask me to confirm, which you'll see here in just a second. So I will say, yep, that looks great. Alternatively, if it's not the correct location, I can enter that in manually. And then it'll say what type of vehicle. I'll say it's a sedan in this case. And then it's just going to ask for some basic contact information or personal details. So obviously the towing company can contact us if necessary. So what's the phone number? I'll say 123-456-7890. And then at this point, the lead has been gathered. It'll send that info, that lead info, to the towing company in the background via email. And now look at how beautiful this is. It gives us the current miles away from the towing headquarters. So in this case, we're about 6 miles away from the headquarters, which happens to be the White House in this case. I just set it arbitrarily. Again, obviously all these details are fully customizable to fit the company that you're working with. And then it gives us a quote here. Now this quote is pretty cool because it's actually dynamically generated. It's not just some static number, obviously. So this quote, the factors that affect it are the current day of the week. Today is Wednesday, so obviously it's a weekday. Prices go up on the weekends. The time of day, right now it's about 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the afternoon, so prices again go up on nights. And then finally, the factor that affects it is distance. So right now we're 6 miles away. Obviously, if we're say 40 miles away, it's going to be a much higher quote based on certain factors of the towing company. So that's how that works. I'm going to say, yes, I do want to confirm my pickup based on this location. So it says, thank you, Andrew. And it says, we'll call you within 5 minutes to confirm. And then it'll also give me an option that you'll see here in just a second to, of course, cancel. In this case, I will cancel it. This will send another email to the towing company just saying, hey, you know, this person who just submitted an inquiry, they have decided to indeed cancel. Now, something else on the back end when these leads get emailed to the towing company that you won't see, at least in this demo here, because I don't have access to the back end right now, is in that email, because the current location and the towing company's location or headquarters, since we have both of those locations, all that location data, it will actually provide the towing company step-by-step directions via Google Maps to the current lead's location, which is really effective, really simplistic. So other things that I want to show you, I want to go back through and also show you what this looks like when a user who is outside of your mile range of service submits an inquiry, because obviously there are great monetization and referral opportunities there as well. So I'm going to click send location again. And of course, all these parameters, yet again, are fully customizable. In this case, though, I have it set so that if a user is more than 40 miles away from the towing headquarters, we're basically going to say, hey, sorry, you're too far away. We can't serve you. So in this case, I will just be super safe and make the location way out here. And then once I send that, you'll notice that obviously the user gets a different response instead of going through the lead form like before. So it says, it looks like this is where you are. Is that correct? I'm going to say yes here. And then once I do that, it's going to say, okay, unfortunately, you're 160 miles away pretty much, which is outside our range of service. So again, this is done in a very strategic way. Obviously, we're only servicing users who are within a certain mile radius of the headquarters. Anybody outside of that, we're basically referring them elsewhere, or at least you have the opportunity to do so. Now, other final things that I want to show you is basically the NLP. So for example, I can ask a question like, what cities do you serve? Once I do that, it'll obviously come back with a list of cities or whatever other relevant information we need. So it says, okay, we provide towing service within a 40-mile radius of our headquarters. Would you like to see if we cover your current location? In this case, I'm going to say no thanks, since we already went through that, but that is how it works. So other questions that I can ask, for example, after it goes through the main menu again, I can say something like, what are your rates? And then after that, I'll ask one more question just to show the robustness of this natural language processing. So it gives us rates here. I'll also say one more thing. What's your phone number? And notice, even if I don't type in number fully, if I just type, the hashtag there, it still detects and picks that up. And again, yet again, all these answers and responses are fully customizable. Obviously, it's not going to say ABC towing in your case. Obviously, the phone number is not going to be just some basic random phone number. So you can customize all of this functionality. So I think that pretty much covers it. The other thing that I think I failed to mention earlier was the ETA as well. So if I go back here, let's see. So yeah, it also gives the user an ETA. So it not only gives them the quote, it not only gives them the current distance away from the headquarters, but it also gives this estimated time of arrival, which in this case is 5 minutes. Of course, if you're in the city versus say the country, you can customize the miles per hour, the travel rate basically, because obviously in the city, if you're traveling 2 miles, it might take longer, such as 10 minutes or something like that. So that being said, I believe I've covered pretty much everything in this towing company chatbot template. Just to review, the real big value adds here are the GPS location. So the user simply goes into the bot, submit their location. Based on that location, they're either told, hey, you're too far away, you're outside of our service range, or they're given a specific quote based on the time of day, based on the day of week, based on all these other factors such as distance as well. And then finally, the user on the towing company side of things, actually, when that lead comes in, they're given step-by-step directions from Google Maps on how to get to that user who's essentially stranded. And then obviously the natural language processing that I have built in, because the reality is users of the bot don't just use buttons and click on those buttons. In fact, they also ask questions naturally. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, be sure to let me know. And otherwise, enjoy this template and enjoy your sales. Take care.